it saddens me sometimes when I go around. I see a young couple and people are just being married for a few weeks or a few months, a few couple years or something, and decide to call it quit. And the main reason why they're calling it quit is not really something unsurmountable, but there's some of the challenge that they face that cause them to decide to call it quit. And I want you to address why we see so many infighting in our marriage, why we are dealing so many challenges in marriage. Well, what a beautiful day and time that we have right now. And I'm really glad to be in front of you guys as you're about to listen to some of the thought and that I had in my heart. And I believe that will help us. And I want to just to take a moment to discuss about something that's really crucial into the society, right? In regard to marriages. We want to see vibrant, established marriage wherever we go. But unfortunately, the challenge has been that many people in a marriage are struggling. See how marriage has been, quote unquote, under attack. But really, the breakdown in marriage, it saddens me sometimes when I go around. I see a young couple and people are just being married for a few weeks or a few months, a few couple years or something, and decide to call it quit. And the main reason why they're calling it quit is not really something unsurmountable, but there's some of the challenge that they face that cause them to decide to call it quit. And I want you to address why we see so many infighting in our marriage, why we are dealing so many challenges in marriage. And number thing I want us to know, and what the Bible says, when God created the universe, it created the heaven and earth. We read in Genesis, it say that let us create man, right, at our own image, our own resemblance. It created them, and the Bible say male and female. And so when God created man, He created male and female, and He gave man a mission. He gave them a purpose, something to do. And He said, go, multiply, subdue the earth, have dominion over it, multiply. And that's a mission of somewhat, a mission, the purpose of marriage. But in that mission, we see that God is not giving it just to men. And the challenge that we're seeing is we think when God is calling someone, it's just calling one person. I believe God, when He called us as a couple. He called you and I, my wife and I have a purpose. We are being called by God. It's not something that I have and my wife doesn't have. That call is being called to a couple, right? It's being called to a couple. And so let's just talk about it and see what is so important for us to understand that if you understand that you and your spouse have purpose and God has created you for a purpose, and that's the reason why the enemy is standing up and you're dealing with situation, because you have purpose in your marriages. And so the number one reason why we're seeing a lot of challenge in marriage is because of that. Is most of us in our relationship lack the understanding of what our purpose is as a spouse, as a husband, as a wife, together. What is this? What is it that God has called us to be, right? What is your purpose? What is your purpose as a spouse, as a husband, as a couple? God say, I created them. He created man, but in the definition, man doesn't point to a gender. It say created a man. He created man at His own image, and then He went on to say male and female. And to them, He gave that purpose. And therefore, the Bible continues, therefore, man shall leave his family and cleave with his wife. They will become one. And that's the man that God is calling. When you and your spouse come together, you become one. The one that God has given a mission to accomplish. And that mission is to go about and bring about the purpose of God, the plan of God, to the world. This is how we can really impact the world by fulfilling what God has called us to be as a couple and bringing the notion of the kingdom to the world by just impacting the next generation. And that's the reason why we've been fought so much in our relationship. When we don't understand the purpose of something, we tend to abuse it. Right? If you don't understand why you have what you have, you will end up abusing it. And sometimes just because of ignorance, sometimes because of lack of knowledge, sometimes we just unaware of what the purpose or misunderstanding, right? And sometimes you just may understand what is it that God has called you to do. God did not call us as a couple to just have fun. Right? It's just not to have good, to have new car, to have vacations and all that. It's not just that. It means we need to impact other people by the way we live. And your way of impacting doesn't have, as a couple, doesn't always have to be in the ministry. It could be in the way you just gathering people, helping those who need, mentoring other people. Probably you're being called to just be as a partner to teach other people. You have many ways God called us as a couple. But you and your spouse need to come together and ask yourself, what is it that God has called us to do? What is our purpose on this earth? What is our purpose right here, right now, whatever we find? Once you understand that, once we understand that, it will be more, it will help us avoid the unnecessary fight. So there is always something that goes on. Say, if you carry a basket of eggs, you will really, you will not try to get into fight. You will make sure you will avoid any kind of fight because of how fragile eggs are. So if you understand the purpose of what you are doing, you will make sure that you don't get engaged or linger too much into the issue of life. And you may have challenges in your marriage, financial challenge, there's a communication challenge, there is all type of challenges that you may encounter, but you will have the understanding to understand, you know what, we have a purpose. We have something we need to do. So let's make sure we resolve this one because there's a higher purpose. Everything else actually becomes less important. The goal and the purpose become more important, and it helps you really go through the challenge that you may go through and overcome them. Have the will and the desire, the strength to overcome them because you understand your purpose, that why God has called you together. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you all and encourage us. Wherever you are, pray, ask God as a couple, why did you bring us together? Why did you get me from my father's house, from my mother's house, and you brought us together to form this new unit, this new family? And there's something powerful when you come in a marriage. The Bible says one can take 1,000, two can take 10,000, right? And someone say that's the importance of marriage. It gives you strength to be able to accomplish what God has called you to do. Doesn't mean when you're single you cannot, but man, it's so impactful, so effective when as a couple we come together and do what God has called us to do. So whatever you may go through, challenge you may go through, start to think about it. Has you lost the understanding of the purpose? Have you neglected what God has called you to do? Do you have that understanding? Are you being distracted by other things along the way and miss to take advantage of what God has put in your hand? Are you misunderstanding the purpose of God? How can you come back together? Pray, ask God, God, help us discover that. Not only discover, but help us also value it. Help us protect whatever God has called you to do. Then you will be able to weed out any other challenge, any other thing. You'll be able to easily, with an open heart, be able to deal rapidly, effectively, with the issue that arises in your marriages because you understand you have a higher purpose. And for that, you don't want anything be on the way of fulfilling the purpose together. So I'm encouraging you. I know the time we're living is hard. I know the time we're living is difficult, but it's just an encouragement right now. rise up, pray together, understand the purpose, and fulfill it. In Genesis 1, God created man, He created them male and female. At the end, the Bible says that what He saw was good. God saw what He created and He said it was good, which means marriage is a good thing. God is satisfied when He see marriages fulfilling the purpose by which He has called them. So this is just an encouragement. I hope you guys have been blessed by this, and I hope to hear from you again. Check out our links right there for Facebook page for more comment, and we'll hope to answer as much as we can. God bless you. Take care. Bye.